Hello and welcome back to Man vs Film. It is that time of year again, my favourite time of year. It is Arrow Video Frightfest 2019. This is the 20th anniversary year of them doing this fantastic event, and I can't wait to delve into some of the movies we've got this time. There is some great films as always that look spectacular. What I'm interested in is the ones that I don't really know too much about that are just going to wow me. I absolutely adore genre films. Frightfest gives me all the movies that I want, and what I wanted to do is kind of drop down a list of 10 movies that I'm really excited about seeing. Whether or not they're going to be any good, well, we'll find out soon enough. But for the next couple of weeks on my channel, the majority of the videos that pop up are going to be Frightfest centric. Movies you may not have heard before, but ones that I hope are going to become future classics within this horror genre. I just hope that there's going to be buckets of bloods, lots of deaths, lots of fist pumping carnage moments. And to be honest, the lineup kind of alludes to that kind of product. So let's just dive into some of the movies that I am most looking forward to and why I'm looking forward to them. First up, we have the opening night movie Come to Daddy, directed by Art Timpson and starring Elijah Wood and of course Steve McHattie. Now, Elijah Wood has done some terrific genre films in the past few years. Steve McHattie was in Pontypool and I will always appreciate that movie. It's fantastic and I'm curious to see what comes here. A young man goes to visit his father at a cabin in the woods and stuff happens. That's all I know, but the opening night movie of Frightfest is always usually something really tailored to that kind of audience, something that's fun and unexpected. And that is exactly why I'm looking forward to Come to Daddy. Next up is Cut Off, a movie that ticks a lot of boxes for me. It is a procedural serial killer thriller where you have this pathologist who gets this mutilated body, is doing his autopsy, discovers a capsule in the head that has a phone number and one name, the name of his daughter, and he's set down a rabbit hole of trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And there's more murders, there's more capsules in the head, and it's basically this guy, procedural, tracking down a serial killer. Now, it looks very stylish, it looks very gory, it looks right up my alley with the whole procedural element of it. This is one that just looks like a hell of a lot of serial killer fun. Next up, we have Haunt, a movie that sounds kind of familiar to other things I've seen. It's Halloween. We've got these group of cannon fodder type people who are going to go to an extreme haunted house. How extreme? Well, I'm pretty sure that they're going to get slaughtered once they enter this building, but it looks really atmospheric. It looks as if it's going for that kind of spooky, off-kilter feeling. And you know, sometimes you just want a splatterfest, and I'm sure that's what I'm going to get with Haunt. Next up, we have Feedback, and you know, the main thing that jumps out at me here is Eddie Marsden, who is a terrific actor. I love the guy, and he is a radio host. And this one sounds a little bit like Phone Booth. He is giving his show, someone breaks in, holds a couple of people hostage, and tells him that if he doesn't continue to broadcast, if for some reason the broadcast fails, they're going to kill people. He is under pressure, locked in a room, and it's just, well, it's Eddie Marsden. I can't wait for this one. It's simple, but it sounds like a lot of fun. Talking about a lot of fun, next up I have one that I haven't really seen too much about, only the trailer, and it looks ridiculous. From the director of Zombievers and Critters, a new binge, comes The Drone. Now this looks exceedingly tongue-in-cheek. It is about a sentient drone that is tormenting and trying to kill a family. You've seen all these movies like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, things like that, where somebody moves into a house and starts to copy somebody or take over or become a little bit more too prevalent in their lives. Only this time it's done with a drone. It opens up with a terrific image, you know, that horrible like, person just sitting on a rocking chair as it squeaks, just looking ominous and that. They do that scene with a drone sitting in the rocking chair. It looks ridiculously tongue-in-cheek. It looks silly, it looks to be poking fun at the horror genre, but has good blood splatter in it as well. That kind of silly one that I'm really looking forward to. Another fun one, another one that looks familiar in its kind of idea is True Fiction. What we have here from the idea is we have a writer, a predominant writer who's holed up in his cabin finishing his latest manuscript. And he seems to run this competition where fans can go up, spend the weekend with him, learn some writing tools of their own, and maybe kick on their career. But when they get there, they discover that the writer is in fact a serial killer and is looking for someone to murder, and this is facilitated by his agents, and this is going to be the thing that gives him a creative urge to finish his manuscript. But he's picked the wrong person this time. Like I said, it's a little bit familiar, but it looks very stylish. I like the cinematography, the idea behind it. The actors looked really good, and I like the style. Next up is Rodman Flender's Eat, Brains, Love. Now, the biggest thing that jumps out about this is the director. I love Idle Hands. It's been a while since I've seen anything from this director, and I like the look of this. It looks like a rom-zom comedy type thing, and it just looks kinda funny, but tongue-in-cheek. There is gore, but it looks unrealistic. There is a kind of romantic comedy element. It's all about a guy becoming a zombie, but still finding the person that he loves. It just looks entertaining, if a little light-hearted. Next up, we have Ready or Not, featuring Samara Weaving. I really like this actress. She was in The Babysitter and Mayhem, two movies that I absolutely adore. Here, she is about to get married to her beloved, but she's going to be introduced to the family first, and when she gets there, they're going to play a little game. They pick out a thing, and it is hide and seek. So there is a little bit of a twist. If she gets caught, she's going to be brutally murdered. And if she survives, she can join the family and become one of this kind of weird clan. But she's going to fight back. It looks fun, it looks bloody, it looks a little bit like You're Next, almost in its kind of aesthetic, a movie I love as well. I'm up for this one. Next up, we have the Soska sisters, who have done a remake of Rabid, the David Cronenberg movie. I really like these girls. I think they do some terrific work. I've loved most of their movies, and I'm really curious what they're going to do with this, putting their own kind of spin on it. The gore and the effects look really terrific, disgusting and twisted. I love Rabid. I'm looking forward to seeing the remake. Fingers crossed it's going to be great. And last but not least is the Sean William Scott starring Bloodline. Now this looks a little bit different as well. We have his character, who is a new father who seems to take vengeance on people who are abusing their kids by brutally murdering them, and trying to come to terms with being a father and the kind of pressures that puts upon him. I really like the idea of the twisting factor of this father who's got conflicting ideas of fatherhood and the whole new levels of stress and responsibility put onto him with a new child, and how he's releasing this stress by brutally murdering child abusers or people who are just hurting, neglecting their kids. I think it looks really quite interesting, and I've not really seen Sean William Scott do a role like this before. I think it should be interesting. So there we go. That is 10 movies that I've picked out that I just think look pretty cool, but there is a whole bunch more. Hopefully I'll be covering some of these movies. If not, I'll be covering as many as I possibly can. So over the next coming weeks, you're going to see lots of videos of lots of various different kinds of genre movies. I hope you'll watch along with me. Let me know your comments on what you think of the trailers or the movies, or if you're looking forward to it. And let's get into Frightfest 2019. Thanks for watching.